You've tried the volumizing shampoo, the root spray, the blow-dry tricks, and your hair still lies flat by noon. If you've ever looked in the mirror and felt like your hair is quietly aging you more than anything else, this video was made for you. Imagine thin hair that actually looks full, intentional, and beautifully styled. Not tired, not flat, not like you've given up. I researched the worst style and beauty mistakes and youth-boosting fixes for mature women, so you get simple, proven transformations that work instantly. Today we're perfecting the way you style thin hair. And by part 3, you'll want to pause, walk to the mirror, and take a second look. I mean it. We're covering 4 parts that will change everything. The cut that's flattening you, the products working against you, the styling moves that steal volume, and the finish that pulls it all together. And the very first mistake? It starts before you ever pick up a brush. Let's go. Part 1. The cut that's making your hair look thinner. Have you ever walked out of the salon feeling like something was off, but you couldn't name what? You sat in that chair, you asked for volume, and somehow you left with hair that lies flatter than when you walked in. That is not a coincidence. That is the cut. The single most common mistake women with thin hair make is choosing the wrong shape. And it is aging your hair faster than anything in your bathroom cabinet. Most women with fine hair over 50 are still asking for long layers because they were told layers add movement. And they do, but the wrong layers on fine hair create weight distribution that pulls everything down. Long, disconnected layers on thin hair remove the density you need most. The result is hair that looks wispy at the ends and flat at the crown. This is the one thing I wish someone had told me years ago, honestly. This ages you. Not softly. Visibly. The fix is a cut with more internal structure. Think shorter, graduated shapes that stack weight at the back and build density through the mid-lengths. A rounded bob. A soft layered lob cut with graduation. Or a textured pixie with volume at the crown. These shapes work with thin hair instead of against it. Here is what to swap. If you are still asking for long wispy layers that taper below your shoulders, swap them for a structured lob with graduation. The difference in perceived thickness is immediate. If your stylist keeps thinning your ends with a razor, ask them to stop. Razor cut ends on fine hair create frizz and further reduce density at the only place you need it most. Tell your stylist you want weight, not movement. Those are 2 different requests. One maintenance tip: refresh your cut every 6 to 8 weeks maximum. Fine hair grows out of shape faster than thick hair, and an overgrown cut on thin hair collapses quickly. This one fix alone can make your hair look noticeably thicker before you buy a single new product. Worth it. Coming up in part 2, the products sitting in your shower right now that are quietly suffocating every strand you have left. Part 2, the products working against your volume. Let me ask you something. Is your shampoo bottle covered in words like nourishing, hydrating, moisture-rich, or smoothing? If the answer is yes, those products are not helping your thin hair. They are flattening it. Here is the insight that changes everything. Heavy moisturizing formulas are designed for thick, coarse, or chemically treated hair. On fine hair, they coat each strand with extra weight, and weight is the enemy of volume. Your hair is not dry. It just looks that way because it is lying flat. That flatness is not a moisture problem. It is a product problem. This is the one that made a close friend of mine stop mid-conversation and ask what on earth I had done differently. The first swap is your shampoo. Heavy conditioning shampoos leave residue on fine strands. Switch to a lightweight volumizing or clarifying formula. One that lifts buildup without stripping. Your scalp will breathe, your roots will lift, and your hair will move again. The second swap is your conditioner. If you are applying conditioner from roots to ends, stop today. Roots only need to be cleansed, never conditioned. Apply conditioner from the mid-lengths down only, leave it 60 seconds, and rinse completely. Residue at the root is the silent killer of every volume style you attempt. The third swap is your styling product. Heavy serums, thick creams, and oil-based smoothers belong on coarse or curly hair. On your fine strands, they create instant flatness. Swap to a lightweight mousse or a fine mist root spray instead. Apply to damp hair at the root only. No resid. No wait. Just lift. The fourth fix is your scalp routine. A weekly clarifying wash removes product buildup that accumulates even from lightweight formulas. buildup at the scalp makes fine hair look greasy and thin hours after washing. One clarifying wash a week resets everything. And fifth, less product is always more with thin hair. Every extra pump is another reason your style will not hold past lunchtime. Your bone structure deserves framing that actually shows it off. In part 3, we are getting into the styling moves that are stealing your volume. And some of them are happening while your hair is still wet. Part 3, the styling moves collapsing your volume. This part is the one most women never hear. You can have the right cut. You can be using the right products. And if your styling technique is wrong, your hair will still fall flat within the hour. The mistakes happen fast, and they happen early. Here is the truth. Most volume is either created or destroyed in the first 5 minutes after your shower. You needed to hear this. The first mistake happens with your towel. Rubbing fine wet hair with a towel, even a soft one, roughs up the cuticle and creates immediate frizz and breakage. That frizz then sits on the surface of your style and disrupts any lift you build. Swap your terry towel for a microfiber cloth or a soft cotton t-shirt. Blot and squeeze. Never rub. The second mistake is letting your hair air dry at the root before you blow dry. Once fine hair dries flat against the scalp, it sets that way. Your blow dryer cannot undo it. You must begin blow drying while hair is still damp, not soaking but damp, and always start at the roots. The third mistake is the brush direction. If you are blow drying your hair forward and downward, following its natural fall, you are training it flat. Instead, flip your head forward, direct all airflow toward the scalp, and dry the roots in the opposite direction of how the hair grows. Then flip upright and smooth. The lift you get from this one shift alone will surprise you. If you have beautiful eyes that deserve better framing, this technique is what actually delivers it. The fourth mistake is using heat on fully dry hair. Fine hair is fragile, and reheating already dry strands to add volume depletes moisture and causes breakage over time. All your volume work should happen while hair is still slightly damp. And fifth, too much tension while styling. Pulling fine hair tight around a brush flattens the root. Keep your wrists loose and lift the section up and away from the scalp rather than pulling it down. This is where the real volume lives. In part 4, we are finishing the look. And there is one final step most women skip entirely that makes the difference between volume that lasts 1 hour and volume that lasts all day. Part 4. The finish that makes volume last all day. You did everything right. You used the right product, you dried at the roots, you used the right brush technique. And by 2 p.m. your hair is flat again. Sound familiar? That is a finishing problem, not a styling problem. And it is the easiest fix in this entire video. Most women skip the setting step entirely. They style, they walk away, and they hope. Hope is not a hair strategy. Here is what actually locks volume in place. Once your hair is fully styled and the roots are lifted, do not touch it. Let it cool completely. Every strand of hair needs to cool in the shape it was dried into before it will hold that shape. Fine hair is heat sensitive. If you run your fingers through it the moment you put down the dryer, you release all the tension you just built. Wait. That's simple. Once the hair is fully cool, the first finishing swap is your hairspray. If you are using a firm hold or maximum hold spray, it is weighing your fine hair down. Swap to a lightweight flexible hold spray and apply it from at least 30 centimeters away. Mist over the surface. Never spray directly at the root. Direct spray creates wet-looking clumps on fine hair. The second finishing swap is your parting. A center part pulls thin hair flat on both sides of the scalp. A deep side part instantly creates the illusion of density on one side and lift on the other. This is one of the simplest optical tricks for volume that your natural elegance deserves. If you want to go one step further, a light dusting of volumizing powder at the crown, pressed directly into the root, gives fine hair grip and texture that holds all day without weight. This is the one that a friend of mine called me about the morning after she tried it. One maintenance tip. Avoid touching your hair throughout the day. Every time you run your fingers through fine hair, you transfer oil from your hands to your strands and flatten the root you worked to build. Style once. Set once. Let it live. You now have every single step. The right cut, the right products, the right technique, and the right finish. Your hair was never the problem. Now you know exactly what was. You just learned 4 things that most women spend years figuring out alone. And you did it in one sitting. The right cut, the right products, the right technique, the finish that holds it all together. That is a complete transformation sitting right in your hands. Wear this with the confidence it was always meant to carry. Your hair was always capable of this. It just needed the right approach. Now tell me, which one of these 4 mistakes were you making without realizing it? Drop your answer in the comments. I read every single one, and your answer might be exactly what another woman needs to hear today. Next time, we are uncovering the one makeup mistake that ages your face more than any wrinkle. And most women do it every single morning. Like this video, subscribe to Timeless Wisdom Path, and I will see you in the next one.